I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy.
Okay, so guys, welcome to what seems to be what remains of episode 20 of the Now You Made It Awkward podcast. It's probably going to be a short one, considering that we had just recorded like an hour and 45 minutes with a guest, which is partially another top 5 episode and then some just extra, just for the fun of it. So if you hear that, so if there's another person with a funny accent, by all means, you heard that episode, not the technical main episode of episode 20. That's what me and Ricky here are doing. That's Ricky over there.
Hey.
Yes. You can follow him and all the work he does at the Facebook for Nerd Rage Radio. Sorry, I was hiccuping.
All the work. I make a promo video.
He makes a promo. Dude, nobody else is making a promo video, so you technically
but
do
you said
all the work. That's what happens when you hiccup in the middle of a sentence.
There's literally a whole team there, and I am a very small cog in that machine.
Yeah, but you're the important cog, at least on that end of it, because ain't nobody else making those promos. But also, you do a small little thingy over on the Realm of Collectors channel on YouTube with the Realm Hatton Project podcast.
Yeah, we do that Friday nights, alternating.
Was that episode 3 last night?
No, last night was just a live hangout.
So that was hangout. Okay, I'm off on my weeks. Okay.
One Friday is a live show where it's just the 5 cast members talking about stuff, and if we have any guests. And then the alternating Friday after those, we have a live hangout where just literally anybody can pop in with us, and we all just sit there and shoot the shit and nerd out for a while.
Yes. God, 5 fucking cast members. I can't even imagine. I have a hard time wrangling just you and Mike.
You don't have to wrangle. That's where everybody messes up. They think they need to wrangle everything. Just
I guess that's somewhat true. That's somewhat well. At least on that one, you guys can see each other, so you can tell when the other person is talking, so you don't end up talking over each other as that much. And I said as much. Mm-hmm. So either way, so go check that out. Link is in the description down below, and I am of course Shoky. You guys probably know that, or if you don't care, you're just here for Ricky. That's fine too. But my links are down below.
All one of you. Hi, Kara. She's the only one here for me.
If Kara is listening, awesome. Hi, Kara. Hi, Kara. I need to get Kara to talk to my wifey on one of these shows one night. That would be fun, I think.
All you have to do is tell me when and where she'll be down for it.
It's not even about like getting her to do it. It's getting my wifey to do it. Because
that's what I'm saying.
Even though she's very shy, like we don't even have to be on camera. So like, it's like all she got to do is talk their nerd shit with each other. It's like, cause they nerd about other things. So it is what it is. Actually, I forgot. I need to bring up the email here. So as usual, we want to start out reading off emails, which we only have the one, so it is what it is. Let me double check on comments. I don't think we have any. The only comment we have that I can see is on our top 5 worst video game movie adaptations. The Nick Cage movie was Willy's Wonderland, so I couldn't remember the name of that.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, I knew it was something Wonderland. I just couldn't remember the alliteration of it. And then a comment I missed last week was on episode 18, Holding Up the Fort While Michaeless. Jan Goza, aka Jay, said 7 Days was a UPN show that I saw on Spike TV. So apparently it was on Paramount. It wasn't NBC like I thought it was. So that was my bad.
Gotcha.
Either way, so back to emails here, also from Jay. Think.
And you're on the second.
There we go. Yep. I got it. Okay. So, wait, where was I? Was I reading a comment?
You were on the comments, yeah. Comments or emails?
I think it was the email. Yeah, it was the email. Okay. Sorry. We're back to it. We had to take a break there for drinking, peeing. Either way, because like I said, we've already been recording for like close to 2 hours. So, Jay wrote back in response to our response to his response, because that's how this works. And guys, if you want to write into us and write very long emails like Jay, you can do so at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. He seems to be very, very familiar with the email. So it's all good. So if you don't feel like just leaving comments or messaging me directly, which is always appreciated, but I don't tend to read those on the show directly. So, all right. So if you remember, he was asking about the YouTube situation, and then we talked about being phone tubers and all that kind of shit, right? So he replied, he said, I tried the phone thing for photography, bought a $900 phone, a $200 SD card, 128 gigabyte, which died in 2 weeks. And the company said it was my fault it died. So I'm a little gun shy of high dollar phones. I would say, what phone was that? Because he didn't put it in here.
This is the one he was asking what he should do for his YouTube.
Yes, exactly. And we said, use your phone, not a camera, blah, blah. He said, I have a Kodak EasyShare digital camera, that I've had for 11 years, that I have dropped at least 50 times, 10 of them in water, and is still kicking, costs $10 to $15 used. I mean, if it works, it works. I had a Kodak EasyShare, I think that's what it was, before I got started on YouTube, and I filmed some videos on it and stuff like that, but once again, outside of doing the YouTube gig. I mean, if you've had issues with your phone, I could see why you'd be gun shy, especially if you're spending that much money. But I would also say it can't be an Apple if it's got an expandable SD card. So maybe it's one of the lesser Samsungs, or maybe he's got one that came through a different carrier. So that can be an issue, and I'm not saying it's not, but then sometimes things just suck. I mean, like it happens. I mean, like mine, the microphones died for no apparent reason. And then I had to use external mics, but that could have also been damage or dirt or grime or some bullshit like that. So, I mean, I feel your pain. I do. And we recommend it. It's like, if you don't feel like spending $1,200 for an updated, like really good camera, then if you have a good phone, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I know people who do so much photography and all they use is their phone and some Bluetooth lights, or just straight up, little LED cubes or stuff like that, Didn't you have a friend who did a lot of toy photography?
Yep. Still do.
Yep. I mean, I do too. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. In fact, a couple weeks ago, my friend Doodog of Doodog Reviews, who's been on my old podcast a few times, he was doing a live stream on Instagram, and he was showing off a bunch of the new figures, including one of the new black suit Spider-Man figures. And he hadn't considered doing a red LED to one side and a blue LED to the other side to kind of capture that animated series look for Black Suit Spider-Man / Venom. And it looked phenomenal. And we did all that live on his thing. So, and he was streaming from his phone, and it looked freaking fantastic. So, I mean, there's hits or misses, and sometimes it comes down to even the software, like specifically. So, is it Open Camera? Let me double check real quick. Yeah, Open Camera. Open Camera is a really good free software for Samsung and possibly Apple. I'm not sure. But it even allows you to do HD video. It allows you to film at 24 frames per second, so you can get that real like TV and movie look. All that kind of stuff. The only thing that sucks about it is it really boosts your screen brightness. So it'll drain your battery faster if you're not plugged in. But it's a really good, usually playable software. But Samsung themselves has really gone the other direction on their pro part of their recording. They got rid of it entirely for a couple years, which really crippled me as a YouTube reviewer, because I lost all the ability to change my camera settings. And then they gave it back for no reason, and it works really well. So I mean,
YouTube giveth and YouTube taketh away.
Samsung, not YouTube. Samsung did that.
Whatever.
So that was Samsung's own camera app. They got rid of the pro settings that allowed you to alter your exposure and all that kind of fun photography stuff. So you can do that now. For those who don't know, just saying. Okay, so from there, he discusses the whole idea. Remember how we didn't know the scale? He called us dog vomit that had been vomited up, vomited again.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So here's his scale. 0 to 10 scale. 0, a what or no response from me. A 5, which I guess is middling, is dog shit. 7.9. That's a reference, y'all. That's a reference, y'all. Dog vomit times time regurgitated. 8.9 is dog vomit times number of time regurgitated plus number of days starting at 2. I'm guessing that's the amount of time it sat before the dog, or how much time is spent in the sun.
Yeah.
And then 0 to K is okay to excellent. So he doesn't have bad, he just has okay. So he has a scale of just positive stuff that he rates in a very negative manner. So he says he abbreviated it strangely, but the Realm Hatton project. So Realm Hatton is one word, not two. Is a dumpster fire equaling 4.8 to 5.2. So you guys are basically a 5.
Not any better, fucker.
So that's dog shit. You guys are dog shit. In his rating scale. If you want the specifics on my rating, I will go line by line about why it didn't go higher. Okay. So episode 1 is a 4.8. Episode 2 is a 5.1. So where does the other 0.1 come in? That's what I want to know. Oh, I like this. Nymea, as he calls us, has always been an 8.2 and 8.3. So we have a really high rating here. So you guys at the Rome Hatton Project need to work on your shit. Oh,
we're also brand new at it.
That's true.
Episode 2 versus episode 20.
Yeah, that's true. But you also have a lot of templates to go by that you don't want to be exactly like, but reference from.
We're trying not to be like any of them. Yeah.
Dude, you're going to spend more time trying not to be like something rather than just borrowing the idea and running with it until you develop your own shit. That's what we've done. That's what we've done here. I mean, so Shoky merch.
Nerd Rage Light.
They're Nerd Rage Light or Nerd Rage KO. So Shoky merch idea. I am a Nymean shirt, cap, or beanie.
I don't like this guy. Block him.
And then as Rikki screams, no.
You don't fucking know me, dude.
He's a true fan. As you talk shit, he was ahead of you. You were talking shit, he's already ahead of you. So yeah, I mean he's a true fan, as it were. I keep really peeking. My mic is super sensitive today for whatever reason. Okay, so now you gotta
give it a break every once in a while and let it relax. You gotta keep your dick beaters off of it.
So look, he actually broke it down. A Nymean is a now you made it awkward nerd. I might do that. I might do the name tag, like a name tag shirt, and says hi, I'm a Nymean, and then put our logo on the back. That'd be fun. I could do that. Okay, so moving on. Would buy merch if I could afford. Okay. I mean, it's not that expensive, but I understand not everybody's got money.
Get out there and suck a dick or two,
I'm
man.
I'm just fair. Hey, don't tell people what to do with other people's dicks.
Hey, go make money is all I'm saying.
I said with other people's dicks. There's also vaginas, Rikki. Don't be a single sex opportunist.
But you don't make as much money with that. You usually end up paying for that.
Dude, you get all those lonely housewives with their husband's credit cards? Come on.
Stay off of porn, dude. That's not how the real world works. Nobody gets a pizza and gets laid at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
So realistically, Jay should do porn if you want to be able to afford our merch. Either way.
I can co-sign that.
It says okay, so this is a good one. I like this. So I like how he should just come on the show at this point if he's going to have these replies.
Yeah, at this point,
you have no idea how long this email is. You have no idea how long this is. Okay, so I didn't infer that Rikki is a pedophile. He must not be getting any. His setup just gives that vibe. A little more light, better camera angle, and organized chaos would go a long way to help that, though. Spent most of a school year helping
organized
with
chaos. I would never, dude. I'm OCD. That's not.
Yeah. He can't do that. That's the wrong kind of OC for him. He said he spent most of his school year helping with his school noon newscast. Y'all had a noon newscast? What fucking losers!
Fucking.
If you didn't get it first thing before anybody really got to class or in the first like homeroom, that's all that matters. Who the fuck does a noon newscast in school?
Fucking tech nerds.
Arkansasians, I guess.
Yeah, assassins.
I don't know. Okay, so he did his top 5 bad video game movies. So his top 5. Dishonorable mention, Prince of Persia. It's not as bad as Ricky and Mike think it is. Okay.
Full of shit.
Hey, it's his opinion. He can have it.
And it's wrong. I mean, he could have an opinion, but I can say it's wrong, and it's wrong.
Whatever. So number 5 is Super Mario. So right on mark with us, but not with someone else, as you guys will
not
hear.
with me, because I said it was an honorable.
I said it's on par. 5 and honorable mention. It's not that big of a difference. It's not like it's 2. You know,
no, I didn't want it on the list. I just wanted it on a list because it wasn't bad and it's not good. It's just right in between.
I gave it enough credit for both. So number 4 is House of the Dead, which is a bowl, and he has the DVD. That's what's really funny. Number 3 is In the Name of the King. Same director.
That's the one he was talking about with Jason Statham, right?
Yep, and he actually confirmed that. And Ron Perlman.
Oh, I forgot.
This movie has to be fantastic. It has Jason Statham and Ron Perlman.
I've never heard anybody say anything good about this movie.
So
he's not the first person I've heard say it was garbage.
Do we need to do like a top 5 movie night, or movie week, where we go through somebody's top 5 list and watch those movies and see if it's worth it? Like for his, I haven't seen.
Because I would scream and yell at them for making me watch trash.
So if we're looking at for me, I've not seen the Prince of Persia movie. I've not seen House of the Dead. I've not seen In the Name of the King. I've not seen Far Cry, which is another one on there that he also owns.
It's on his list. Far Cry's on his list.
Yep, that's his number 2.
I didn't even know that was a movie until you sent me that Wikipedia page.
And it's from 2008. Like, how did we miss that?
That's crazy.
I'm going to be honest.
I didn't care about the game, so I probably wouldn't have been paying attention to a movie coming out about it.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know the game was that old.
Yeah, they're like on
that's how little I know about Far Cry.
9 or some shit like that. They're pretty up there, 6 or 7.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
They don't come out every year. They come out like every second or third year. So 20 years would be about right.
I mean, I know some of the newer Far Cry games because I've watched playthroughs and stuff like that. But like,
that is one. Explain that to me. My kids are into that. My kids are into doing that. How the fuck do you spend life watching a video of somebody else playing a game that you could be playing?
Well, to be fair, I watch people play games that I don't have a console for.
Oh, okay. So just go get the console.
Yeah, or I could watch it free on YouTube. And watch one of my favorite. In this case, like I like Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie. Those guys.
That's like saying you prefer watching porn over having actual sex. That's lame.
No, I mean, I get your point. You're being silly, but it makes sense. But in some cases, it's like, okay, I could spend $400 or $500 depending on the console one time, plus pay for whatever online bullshit I got to pay for, plus download whatever DLC.
You don't have to pay for online bullshit. That's an Xbox thing. That ain't a PlayStation thing.
Well, I'm just saying in reference to.
Then you own an Xbox where you have to pay to be online. PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. So, but in this case, like, you have to buy every version of every game. So if I don't want to play the latest Far Cry, then I have to buy all the Far Cries. Okay, so for instance, the latest playthrough I just watched, and it's only the first 2/3 of the game thereabouts, was for the game Stray, which is you playing as a cat, like an actual cat.
Fucking God, you watch somebody play this game?
I want to play this game now, but not enough to buy a PlayStation. It's enough that I would wait until the Xbox port comes out eventually.
See, and that's the thing too. You're talking about buying all these games and stuff. Xbox has this. I mean, PlayStation has this thing now where you pay like a monthly subscription and you can play them digitally right on there without having to buy the game.
I mean, if there was a way to, I don't know, borrow the game temporarily for a small fee, that would be great.
You mean rent it?
Yes. So imagine video game rental, but in the modern age. That would be fantastic.
I just told you how to do it.
I know, but
they literally have that on there. It's called PlayStation Play or some shit like that.
So does it just go? So that's a monthly subscription.
Dude, but it goes back. They have PlayStation 1 games in that motherfucker.
But in the same way, if I was a PC gamer, I would just get Steam and play most game that exists. Well, I wouldn't even do that. I would just get Steam. I mean, half the ROMs I would play are already on Switch, essentially, on the Nintendo eStore, which I already pay for, that I don't play. Okay, so his number 1 was Resident Evil, all of them. So
Nice.
yeah, right on board with you essentially.
All
Well,
of
you were
them.
you were number
Mine was 3.
3.
That was
Yeah.
number 3 for me, but
Yeah.
it was still all of them.
But that's crazy because the first 2 are not terrible.
No, they're passable. That does not make them good. They're
The first
passable.
one specifically is not bad. But if you're
It's
throwing
not a good Resident Evil movie. It's a good movie.
I think
it's not a good Resident Evil movie.
the first one is the closest to being a Resident Evil movie.
Which makes it not good because it's close to being a Resident Evil movie, not an actual Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, but we're talking adaptation. It's not like they said it was going to be. We're going to do this shot for shot.
Don't try to justify.
Now
your
we're
stupid
not
answer.
even we're not even going with series. Now, if we want to do a whole nother top 5 worst list of
Dude,
series,
I heard that Netflix series was garbage. I haven't watched.
I
it
did
yet.
too.
I've been watching that Terminal List, and that shit is fucking awesome.
I meant to. I just
like,
didn't get to it yet, so I will.
I'm on
watch
like episode 4 of it right now. I don't know how many episodes are in it, but I know the whole season's out or whatever, and it's good stuff.
Then we'll talk about it next week because I'll try to watch it this coming week.
They're long, like each episode's like an hour.
Yeah. No, I mean I figured that, and so I'm on board. I don't think the wifey will be, so I'll watch it on my own. I needed something new to watch since all the other shows have basically ended right now, so I need something else. And I've been trying to, side note here, I've been trying to watch season 1 of Clone Wars, and it is fucking hard.
It's rough.
Season 1 is so rough.
Season 2 is where it gets awesome.
I kind of want to skip to season 2. Like,
just do it. Just slug your way through it. Have it on in the background so you aren't really paying super amounts of attention to it.
And I do want to build something this week, so that might be what I do. So, all right. So
that's what I started out Terminal List like that because I was working on putting my lightings in and fixing my cabinets up in the collection room.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I'll put this on and just kind of 3/4 of the way pay attention, not ignoring it, but not just like dwelling in it. Yeah, I made it about 15 minutes into the first episode and I just stopped everything I was doing. I was just staring at it like it's good. It's good.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing, like when I get to building, I can listen well enough. But I usually will put on podcasts and stuff like that when I'm building.
No, but this you don't.
But I'll put on decent shows.
Yeah, there's visual cues you need to be catching by watching the show.
I got you.
You definitely have to be paying attention.
Okay, so I will endeavor to focus.
Yes. Take your ADD meds and watch
if nothing
show.
else, and I know we're jumping ahead because we'll talk about our weeks just briefly here in a bit, but I will watch it with the wifey because that way I can focus more because that'll be a thing where we do it together.
Busy
like
yelling at her to put her phone down though.
Yeah, if she's bored with it, maybe. But I mean, if there's enough lovely looking gentlemen in it, she might focus.
Well, Chris Pratt shirtless in a bunch of scenes.
She'll be on board. Okay. So, especially because he's beardy in this too, right? He's not clean shaven.
Yeah, not for long though. I'm gonna spoiler alert.
Okay, so
she likes to shave it off.
She does like beardy guys, which is why I have not shaved my beard off in 3 years. Okay, so continuing on with his email. I like how we're just doing entire episodes dedicated to his emails.
It's just him at this point.
Yeah.
Like so we should just do a bonus episode, the J bonuses every week.
Oh, this is weird. Okay, I have to figure out what this means. Lost a modeling community or 90 to 95 of 3 years. I'm assuming that means percent.
Yeah, he's talking about, you were talking about how you lost your modeling community and friends and stuff.
No, I get, but I'm saying he's lacking the word percent, or at least the sign.
Or the sign.
Yeah. It says, because of 2 to 3 asses, didn't like that I became the center of a group after I coalesced it from about 4 or 5 smaller groups. Okay, I got that. Okay. And got me banned from that hobby store. Ooh, fuck, that really sounds familiar.
That's rough.
That's so similar. All right, last I heard of it, the group is dead and the hobby store is closed. Wow, that's what happened essentially to my hobby town.
Just sounds like something I never want to fuck with just because of y'all stories.
Well,
who cares about the show and how cool it looks, man? It sounds like these people are fucking toxic as shit.
Well, the thing is like, I mean, there's horrible toxic communities as it is, but it gets to the point where he's talking about where he helped basically to be the center of the communities.
I understood what he was saying.
Yeah, but bringing them together, So, for instance, like with the Gundam clubs we had here, it started out as the Austin Gundam Club. Mind you, I don't live in Austin, but that was the first one I found because Houston had nothing. So I was driving to Austin several months once a month to go hang out with these guys and have a community. And then in doing so, I started meeting other Houston guys who were driving out there because there was no one in Houston doing this. So we eventually all gathered with other friends we had who weren't making the drive and started the Houston Gundam Club. And through that, I grew my YouTube channel, relationships with a lot of other people, even with Hobbytown in Houston, because I had friends who worked there now because that was the hosting store for whenever we had club meetings and stuff like that. And then the guy who eventually put himself in charge was the one who banned and what's the word I'm looking for? I guess banned is a good enough word. Banned me from at least the Facebook group, and then booted the manager of Hobbytown because he's the one I made the deal with. And then once some people found out about that, and he started wanting to restructure the group. He started wanting to take over Houston, so to speak, and like branch out and like have all these division areas. Like somebody needs to be on the north side who runs things there, and blah, 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 blah. Because Houston is a big fuck off city. I mean, mind you, I'm driving 45 minutes to an hour to go hang out with these people. But this guy was such a douchebag. I made an entire video about him doing this without calling him out by name. And I was let in on a Zoom call that they held. Or well, not Zoom, but one of those. I don't remember whatever it was. Yeah, okay. So I got sent a link so that I could listen in to the bullshit he was spouting, but I wasn't. I made sure I didn't talk to let him know I was there. And like this guy, in a particular setting, he would be like the most supportive guy, wanting to get people into the hobby and be like, hey, you should check this stuff out. If you like this, you probably like this, and all this kind of stuff. And then if you got into a build meet or a build day, however you want to call it, he would be kind of like that in the store setting. But once we were in the building part, he would just be talking shit with everybody else, whether it's about other animes and stuff like that. This is a guy who made fun of a lot of bigger animes because he didn't like them. He would put down a lot of people. If you liked certain things, he would bully you.
He was a snob about his stuff.
No, this is not a snob. This is not a snob. He was a bully. Because there's no way he could be a snob about the shit he liked. If you didn't like what he liked, you're a dumbass. This is a guy.
Literally a snob.
No, listen. This is how bad this guy was. If it got big enough into a disagreement, he would challenge you to a sword fight in the parking lot.
Like a real sword fight?
He had blunted swords with him.
Man, send that motherfucker over here so I can Indiana Jones him one time, man.
Like,
he ain't gonna fucking pull a sword on me,
motherfucker. For whatever it is, he definitely he was on the spectrum somewhere. And that's not
don't disrespect those people.
No, see, but the thing is,
mentally ridiculous is what
he is mentally ridiculous. I don't know where exactly he falls, but he definitely had some proclivities. Not to mention he grew up in what sounded like an abusive military dad situation.
But the problem with saying he's on the spectrum is he wouldn't have been in those social instances.
But he didn't have it in that way. Like he had it in other ways. But either way,
and then he wasn't autistic. He was mentally ridiculous. That's two different things.
He's mentally ridiculous in the way that if you, and God, okay.
I get what you're saying.
No, you don't, because let me put it this way.
I'm just kind of correcting it some because people misunderstand how the spectrum thing works.
Well,
because you know
here's
what
the thing.
does for a living.
No, this is why I say he's definitely on the spectrum somewhere. Because half the time he could be a normal adult, but be very awkward in social situations. One-on-one, he could be a normal person. When it came to more people, he started putting on a show. He started acting like what you would expect of him. And then if
that's what I'm saying. That's why he's not on the spectrum. Listen. Somebody on the spectrum would shut down if you put them in a bigger
Let me continue.
Mm-hmm.
If you went against him, and even in small ways, he would explode in a very childlike manner.
Mm-hmm. It
Like,
sounds like a spoiled brat asshole spectrum, not the
some
autistic
of that
spectrum.
is true, but there's something in there. Now, I couldn't tell you what it is because
Mhm.
it's a spectrum. There's a lot going on there.
But the spectrum isn't
But
multi-encompassing multiple things. The spectrum is applied strictly to autism
and
and
I
how strong your level of autism is.
and I agree with that. And I've seen plenty of that in my life, believe me. But I think there's something to it because of the way he, if nothing else, there's definitely a bipolar aspect to it. There is a bit of a spoiled brat acting out aspect to it, but then there's also the way he was always very childlike in his behavior until he pretended otherwise. So it's almost like he had an expected behavior, so therefore he would act that way, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying.
it was a learned behavior.
But that's what I'm saying. Autism, they don't have that ability to fake being a
In,
certain way. That's why they shut down and they have their meltdowns and stuff because they don't know how to.
and
Do that.
he
They
would
can't.
and he would do both of those things too if something went beyond his.
Gotcha.
I don't
He
want to
just
say.
sounds like a
I don't want to
fucking
say.
prick.
No, he's definitely a
I don't want to
prick.
put him on the same level with
But
people
like,
who have an
because
actual
I know,
disorder. He just sounds like a prick.
yeah. But the reason I was going there is that in some cases he would make fun of people on the spectrum. In that same kind, he was a person who lived. You know how you always talk about how things happen on the internet and the internet's not real life.
Mm-hmm.
He was a person who lived the internet in real life. He was a real life breathing YouTube comment section.
Gotcha.
And that's how he lived his life. So
Yeah,
there was
he's just a douchebag.
there was a lot of bullshit happening with him. And you know what? He's one of the worst people that I've ever met. And
Did you fight him?
No, but it took a lot for me to not stab him the last time I saw him.
Well, I don't know about stabbing, but you should have at least popped.
Oh,
him
I had the knife in hand. He showed up in my territory because he had moved. So he was no longer
That
on.
escalated. You don't want to fist fight him, but you want to stab him. You kind of
Well,
jumped
he
the shark
came,
on that one.
and here's the funny part. So talking about this whole situation, I know this is just spun off from what Jay said, but so got booted out of Houston essentially. A spin-off group happened from everybody who was tired of the nonsense going on there, because he threw out a whole lot of woke nonsense while we were at it, which is funny because he's so not that, but he did it just to make sure he was being correct. It's so his behavior was so crazy. Either way, so we started our own separate group, but it was a little bit far out of my casual way. A lot of people I know, stuff like that, but a little far out of my casual driving. So incidentally, a local comic book / hobby store that sold 40K and other game stuff like that wanted to get into a new branch, started selling Gundam, like not even 20 minutes from me. Got in there early, started setting up days for building, communicated with the guy, had a whole lot of stuff set up, and I specifically warned him about this guy because he caused a lot of trouble for Hobbytown when he didn't get his way, and because he knows both the manager and somebody else, he started causing a whole lot of trouble specifically for Hobbytown when he or his friends didn't get his way. So I warned this owner of this. I didn't give him his name, but I gave him a very deep description. And when it came to like our second or third actual meeting where people finally were getting together, and this was pre-COVID, like right before COVID hit, he shows up. And mind you,
did you go to the manager and say, that's the guy I was telling you about?
I did. Specifically, I said, that's him right there. And he tried to talk to me, and like, mind you, I was only talking to the people I know directly across from me, stuff like that. And I'm just like being cool. Yeah, hey guys, what's going on? I'm completely ignoring him, trying to not have a fucking meltdown of my own, because this is somebody I truly hate at this point. And when I say hate, I mean like your existence needs to be wiped out the fucking planet. And he tries to talk to me about, hey, how's the YouTube thing going? I was like, it's fine. I'm like just giving him blank answers, not even fucking looking at him directly, and trying not to say, hey, get the fuck out of my store. You know, basically trying to be one for the community, not for anything else. And I think he got the message because he never showed up again. So either way, I'm going to leave it at that. because that's so Jay talking about a
I
lot of
still
things
feel
he
like you
went
should
through.
have punched him in his mouth.
I would have liked to, but I also didn't want to get arrested because he would be somebody who, even if he had the ability to kick my ass, would just sit there and whine and cry and then try to have me arrested instead of actually fighting me, even if he had the ability to do so. But anyway, moving on from that, because now I've been drinking, so therefore I'm more
It's
open
just
to
it's
things.
just a simple assault charge, man. It's like a $240 fine down at the courthouse. You don't go to jail or nothing for that shit. Just beat his ass and move along.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're broke, you got to think about those things. Also, if it had happened initially, I did nearly get into a fight with one of his friends
Then that's when you start swinging on everybody, man. You beat
at
his friend's ass,
Hobbytown.
his ass,
So
everybody's ass.
So this is how a lot of people knew things were getting out of hand. So he would come in, he would talk trash to people, but then ridicule others for talking trash. Or he would make autism jokes by, saying people that got a little touch of autism. Stuff like that kind of shit, and then doing the whole, like, the really played out, like, arm against the hand kind of shit.
I would totally fuck this dude up on like I would fuck this dude up.
So it came down to,
you and I are not the same, Shoky.
No,
You're
it's
way
fine.
nicer than me.
I am. See, you called me an asshole last week, and I'm way nicer. So he had one of his friends who was sitting a couple people down from me. I already can't stand this guy, but I'll tolerate him when he's normal. Like, when the other dude is not around, he's fairly normal. But once he's got him there and they can play back and forth off each other, complete assholes to everybody. So if I remember correctly, it was around, I forget which movie it was. I think it was either Marvel or Star Wars, one of the big fucking movies.
Okay.
And while this shouldn't have mattered, he's already got me riled up. Just for normal nonsense. And then he starts talking spoilers to the room. Like, nobody else has gotten a real chance to see this movie. The movie just dropped, one of the big fuck off blockbuster movies. And I'm like, dude, nobody here's seen this fucking movie. Shut your fucking mouth. Now, I say this to everybody, in front of everyone. And then he keeps talking, and I forget exactly what he said. But I got out of my chair. I walked over to him, got in his fucking ear, and I said, "The fuck did you just say?" And I'm not a truly confrontational person. I don't know this guy's fighting ability. I don't know anything. But right then and there, I was willing to throw the fuck down. I didn't fucking
Cobra
care.
Kai his ass. Strike first, strike hard, strike
But
fast.
here's the thing. I'm in a public place that is for our community, run by people within our community. If
I'm pretty sure your community would have appreciated you shutting that motherfucker down.
If I'm the first one to throw the punch, I'm the one who gets thrown out, not him. I want him removed, but nobody's going to do that. Now, mind you, at this point, one dude who's in the group who does have who specifically has autism runs out and grabs one of our members who's not the manager, but he's the assistant manager, and he's got, Dion. Shout out to Dion. Dion's fucking fantastic dude for the modeling / RC community. He's doing music now. He's got out of the modeling thing. He's actually doing music now. Haven't talked to him in a few months. Anyways, so he runs and grabs him, and he comes into the room, and I'm still standing there next to the dude, waiting for a reply. And he's shut down. Now, I think he's trying to restrain himself because he realized he went overboard. But he's also trying not to kick my ass. Dion comes in and grabs me. He's like, "Can I talk to you outside for a second?" And I'm like, "Yes, you can." He's like, "What the hell's going on? Why did he come and grab me?" And I tell him the whole story. And I was like, and so he's like, "That's fucked up. I'll take both of these guys out of here and talk to them about this shit." And I was like, yeah. I was like, you shouldn't have anybody who's in here acting like this, who's literally, their active goal was to rile someone up. It didn't need to be me. It just happened to be me. I was like, you got a whole lot of normal people who just want to come in here and build and mind their own business and just have a fucking community. And you got these two fucking dickheads who are basically sitting at the top causing problems. So when I say people left this community to come start a new one, it's because of people like that. And I won't even get into the shit that happened after I left, that I'm very aware of what happened. But this is the kind of person that I tell you, like, drives me to the point of wanting actual violence, which is not me at my core. So it's like, whether it's for me or in the case of someone else, this is what I mean by someone I detest, someone I truly hate, So when I say that our community was destroyed and I was removed, this is the person who booted me from this community. So understand what I mean by when I say community loss, it's because of that person that I lost my community initially. And essentially because he never owned up to what he did for kicking us out. And people went a year without even knowing what happened. And then they messaged me personally and say, hey man, I haven't seen you in a long time. What's going on? And I told them what happened. It's like, well, that's fucked up. And I'm like, uh-huh. Why don't you bring it up at the next meeting and see what happens? So either way, moving on from that. Continuing with the email, because believe it or not, there's more emails still. I'm not joking.
There's more.
There's more. So he says, the Wing Commander games are based off a book series, I think. So there we go.
I think he's right on that.
I think he is correct in that. And
I want to say it's like an older book series.
Oh,
too,
it's,
like
it's
80s,
old.
90s.
Yeah. Well, because the original game wasn't anything like the later games, which was nothing like the movie. So
right.
Also, we've been talking for a while. My throat is fucking raw. All right, so
Lightweight.
Oops, that was the wrong paragraph. So my mouth tends to get me in trouble from time to time, and I would hate for it to happen with you guys. This is helping me towards starting a YouTube channel, getting less nervous every time I write in. Maybe someday I might try to be a guest if you want, but that is a long way off. Well, I mean, if
said
Mike,
that before you even got that far in your email, we said get your ass on.
It's like,
so.
I mean, at this point, I mean, the hardest part is just learning to talk with somebody else. But I mean, we're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though.
And believe me, until you'll know when I get serious, because one, I'll get quiet, and two, I'll let you know. I'll go from fuck you to fuck your mom. I'll make sure you know that I'm being very serious. Like I'll make a very diligent point so that you know that we have crossed into a different type of conversation.
we're now somewhere else. So I mean, I've been doing this for going on 7 years. You know, so I've had a lot of interaction with people who are very unfamiliar with doing YouTube or doing podcasts, stuff like that. I've interviewed people. I've just sat and talked with people for hours on end who are unfamiliar with it. Excuse me.
We just did it earlier.
Yeah, so exactly. But I mean, Alan's used to our, by the way, shout out to Alan. You know, he was in a different episode. Alan. So, and he will be back on in the future. When it's not 1 a.m., he will definitely be back on. So, for instance, last year when I mentioned it before, talking about Double October last year, where I kind of had to rely on the fans because I had nothing I could build and review. So I was, relying on people who have built things, to show off. So I had newbies who had never been remotely related to YouTube or anything come on via either Skype or what's the other one? What's the one you guys use?
StreamYard.
StreamYards, yes. So I would interview them about their builds and stuff like that, and all of them were super nervous, but I would have them on for like 15-20 minutes before we started rolling, just talking to them, getting them comfortable. It's like, look, dude, you're just talking to me. Don't worry about anybody else watching this live or recorded, whichever it was. It's like, it's just you and me talking about your thing. It's like, I'm here to learn what you did. I'm here to learn about your passions. If we're not going crazy, we're not doing anything else like that. And like trying to get somebody new comfortable with talking, especially about themselves, is hard. But if you have somebody who is used to it, it makes life so much easier. Like, I mean, you were fairly unfamiliar with, public speaking as it were, when you first came on, and you fit right in, no problem now.
Mm-hmm.
That's only been what, 2-3 months?
Not even.
I don't know. The beginning of the summer has really blown by. So, I mean, like,
yeah, it feels like 20 years and it feels like last week. So yeah. I don't know.
And also, like, what we do here is not an interview. It's just you talking about your own shit, and you have plenty of example. If nobody knew what the fuck they were doing, much like the Rum Hatton Project, then it would be much more awkward. Sorry, I had to throw that out there, because that is kind of the problem. You guys trying to develop your own thing without trying to be anything else, it is awkward. Like, to build your own footing is difficult. I've been there. I completely understand. Which is why we just flat out copied Nerd Rage Radio. Guys, go watch the Realm Haddon Project. And be better than me, because I haven't got down to watching it just yet.
Yep, and that's
But,
why I don't watch any of his videos.
Well,
I don't have to watch any
then
of his
again, I need something to watch or listen to while I'm building this coming week. So, and you already said I can't do that.
Won't.
Well,
He
you said I
still
can't.
won't
You
listen.
said I
He
can't
still
do
won't
it.
watch.
You said I can't do it with the terminal list. So therefore, I'll have to do it with your show. Anyways, so there it is. Shoky, if you want to talk models, Gundams, cars, or anything else, I'm down. Just realize some areas I will have limited knowledge, but I like to learn. I mean, I've got limited knowledge, so I mean, it is what it is. What is this? Oh, Mike actually, I just saw a thing he posted. Mike actually made his own merch. Comic Relief Crusader merch. That's cute.
That's cute. What are you, a 10-year-old girl?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it said the best 2-hour show.
He said yes. Y'all heard that shit.
So, well, I like that Mike's feet are in the shot of the picture here on our chat. So it says the best 2-hour show that feels like 6 minutes. Is that what you tell your wife, Mike?
Oh, womp womp.
Or is it the best 6 minutes that feels like 2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, if you would like to buy some Naimia merch, you can do so down below. Or some Now You Made It Awkward merch for Ricky, because he doesn't accept Naimia as a title. Oh, that sucks. Okay.
What sucks?
So I told you earlier, I messaged Brent Woodside, the artist, and they were at Comic Palooza, so I missed them. I gotta reply to him real quick.
Or don't, because this is bad podcasting.
Well, because he messaged me before we started recording again. I don't want to leave him hanging, because now he needs to invoice me for a really cool print, so I just gotta reply to him. Give me just a second. Bad podcasting was when we took a pee break / drink break, and I didn't pause for like 9 minutes. That was bad.
That's not bad podcasting, because you'll just have to edit it out.
If I remember. Okay, so...
You'll remember, because it'll sound stupid as shit, and I'll tell you, hey, pull it back down and fix it.
Yes. But either way, I will be receiving some cool new artwork from Brent Woodside. So if you follow...
Is that the one that you sent me the picture of? You're getting that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was awesome.
Yes. Some Stranger Things merch. Shout out to Brent and Kayla. Like, it'd be cool to have them on one day. That'd be fun. Because they're artists. And they do have official Disney licensing, so they can do Disney stuff.
That's cool.
So he just put out not long ago a Wolverine print. So good old Jim Lee style Wolverine.
Nice.
So he does have the ability to do official Disney stuff. It's really cool. That's where my Star Wars prints came from, my Doctor Who prints, my Firefly prints, the Supernatural prints, and that's before they had licensing. So that was the stuff he could do.
You should probably stop saying that on the internet.
Why? It doesn't matter. They didn't necessarily have those prints. I mean, artists can do whatever they want as long as they don't put any official bullshit on it, you know? They can't claim it's official, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's the end of Jay's email. Of course, thanks for writing in, man. I mean, we got, more than an hour out of just your email. So it is what it is. The second beer is actually...
I've noticed that every episode you burp in the mic at least once.
I burped like 7 or 8 times because I learned a long time ago.
At least once.
Yeah. So I, like, way back when I first started podcasting, either the Shoky Nerdcast or the live streams that me and another person who's no longer around would do, I just said, fuck it. I'm like, there's no point in censoring myself when it came to that. I mean, I might say, excuse me, or I might not. But it's funny that my live streams that I have now on the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel, they told me to just not bother excusing myself.
He's on there. He's on there ripping ass, y'all.
That has happened during our podcast, but that doesn't usually get picked up.
Thank God.
Though I will throw a certain person under the bus for clearing out the bedroom last night. That was really bad. Was it last night or was it in the morning? What day I forgot exactly. Either way, it was bad. It was horrendously bad.
I will
love you, baby.
I am a hard sleeper. Like, I sleep deep. Like, I don't sleep long, like, amounts of time, but when I go to sleep, I'm like sleep of the dead type sleep.
Sure.
and it takes a good little bit. It's weird, like if you're trying to wake me up, it takes a lot. But if you stand across the room and be like, "Hey, Ricky, you need to get up," I'll like pop up just wide awake. But if you're trying to actively wake me up, I'll fight it. Alarms, I'll fight them.
Interesting.
But I sleep really hard, and somebody that I've known in my life, let one go that woke me up out of my sleep. So I literally popped up. You know how like
the smell or the Dracula, sound?
The smell.
Oh my God.
Like Dracula, how he always, you know, the old school ones where he'd rise out of his coffins. Like I literally sat up like that going
gagging.
Like I couldn't breathe. No, like it was like I'd stopped breathing. I'm like, oh my God, it smells like something crawled in you and died and is trying to get back out again. Ugh. Like I was like,
yep.
And you know, whenever I do it or something, I always be like, I'll blame one of the dogs. I'll be like Harley or Luna, and they'll be like all the way across the room.
That wasn't the dog, Dad. That was you.
Yeah. And like, so my youngest will have like comparisons. So whose farts really smell the worst? My farts? And we're like, oh yeah, those are pretty bad, man. Those are rough, man. They're like Gabriel's farts. I'm like, yeah, these are all right. They're not too bad. He's like, Dad, yours are pretty bad. I'm like, yes.
Okay, so we're on this topic, so we're going with it.
We're going with it. I'm a stander.
So
hashtag stand with standards.
We're not going there. We're not going to literal bathroom talk. But like very early on in our relationship, because we were long distance, like she lived an hour and a half away, so we would come and see each other on the weekends.
I see what you did there. Come and see each other.
Shut up. So we got over that whole aspect of farting or burping or whatever in front of each other, like very fast. Like, I mean, it's just like,
we don't have time to waste with this.
We don't have time to waste with this. We literally have like, we have less than 48 hours together a week. And, you know, we started dating online. So we actually met on Plenty of Fish, of all things.
Nice.
So
one of our good couple friends, that's how they met, and we got to go to their wedding, and they're together, and they're an awesome couple.
Sometimes online dating works. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it absolutely works. And I'm talking about dating, not hookup kind of shit, not Tinder nonsense. So, and the funny thing is, we were both at that level. Like, we're done if this shit doesn't work. So when we got together, you know, on our first date, and I've told this before on a different podcast, that our first date was 8.5 hours long. So yeah, because I had to drive it, you know, an hour and a half to meet her. So we had lunch.
And only 7 hours and 53 minutes of that was actual dating.
No, actually, the entire thing was dating.
No, the other 7 minutes was.
No, the seven minutes might have been kissing. Like I did kiss her on the first date because we had been talking already for like 2 months. We hadn't met yet, and I spent the whole afternoon with her and her family. Oddly enough. Oh, so
that's a weird first date.
Yeah, exactly. So like talking about this, and I brought this up once again, but on our first date, we went and saw Inside Out, the Pixar movie. So, but it's because I chose to stay after lunch. Like we were supposed to just have lunch and then go our separate ways. And then she was supposed to take her niece to go see Inside Out. And so I had a choice: stick around and go see this movie, which I already wanted to see, and, you know, spend more time with them, or go the fuck home and probably jerk off. So
why do one when you can do both?
Exactly. So either way, so I stuck around. We went to back to her house where her moms were, and they were in the pool. So on our first date, I basically saw her. God, how do I put this? Because her godmother basically became her mom after her actual mom died, and then her eventual wife, you know, at this point just domestic partner, I saw her tits on our first date because they're swimming around and she's just wearing a very, very, very loose tank top. So I already got to see more of her family than I meant to. And then after that, we went to go pick up her niece.
Then you went home and spanked it?
No, did not. So went to go pick up her niece from her sister's house. So got to meet her sister, her niece, nephew, and brother-in-law. And then we went to the movies. And this is all on our first date. So saw the
Jesus
movie,
Christ.
and
I'm
then
just checking all the fucking boxes.
all
Knock
the
it
fucking
out of the
boxes,
way.
and then her sister and brother-in-law were going, and I don't remember where they went. They went out of town, but left the daughter behind for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
So she was supposed to babysit the niece. So then we went back to their house after the movie, and then just sat there and watched TV for a few more hours. So it's like we had a really long fucking first date, but I guess that's basically what integrated us into each other's lives at that point. So like, you know, if you're waking up to next to somebody, odds are you're gonna get the morning farts. You know,
like I've seen your mom's boobs. We are officially together.
we are
forever
family at this fucking point. So, but like, so leave all the actual adult activities behind. You know, so her bathroom was a little ways away from her bedroom. Her bedroom was actually in her mom's garage. Converted the whole fucking thing. It was pretty cool, actually, not gonna lie. And except for the bed that was basically plywood on top of cinder blocks, that part sucked.
Jesus.
Good support for certain activities, but
Yeah,
otherwise,
but
otherwise, the bathroom was a little ways away. So you know, if you get the morning farts and stuff like that, like people do, you know, it's like, what do you do? Go all the way across the garage where you're definitely going to be heard, make it all the way to the bathroom, maybe? No, you just fucking let it rip. So when it came to farts and stuff like that, we were just from the get-go
letting them fire.
basically letting them fire. It's like, fuck it. But that built our relationship on that level to where, like, most couples who have been together way longer than even we have been
I still haven't done that.
won't do that in front of each other. Now, mind you, the other stuff, like, you know, nobody's taking a dump in front of the other unless it's like an absolute emergency. But even
I'm weird about phone calls if I know you're in the bathroom.
Really?
I've hung up on my mom because she called me and I'm talking to her, and all of a sudden I hear the toilet flush. I'll hang up on her. She'll call me back. I'm like, don't call me while you're half naked and talk to me on the phone. I don't need that shit in my life.
Dude, me and my best friend used to talk every day because he would call me on his way to work and I'd be taking a shit. And so we're like on this schedule. He's on his way to work where we both used to work, but now I've got a new job. And I'd be getting home from work, so I'm taking a shit after work, and he would call me every day exactly when I'm on the toilet. So we'd be talking the whole time I'm taking a dump. So like,
Nasty.
I mean, that kind of stuff, and we knew it. I mean, it wasn't a secret. So I mean, mind you, that was my ex best friend. He's not around anymore. I don't really have a best friend anymore, if I'm honest with you. But
I would hang up on you.
But like, I get it if you can hear the activities.
I'm gonna tell your wife that you said you don't have a best friend anymore.
I don't. I mean, like, sure, her, but
your
like,
wife's your best friend.
Yeah, but like,
to have conversations.
But that's a conversation I can have with a stranger too.
Sarah, I love you. Like when I do it and she goes, "Oh my God," I'm like, I'm inside you.
So
enjoy it.
So on top of
like you're so gross.
On top of that, so we used to call it shit particles. Like, you're getting your shit particles everywhere. Oh my God, your shit particles are in my nose. I was like, they're in your mouth too. Shut up. So what I was getting at before I mentioned that, so like one of the best times though, which really kind of cemented our relationship, she was actually staying over at our house because I was with my parents at this point. I'd lost where I was living and had to move back in with them again. And it's a Sunday morning. We had slept in a little bit, and my mom was making breakfast. And so she kind of comes back to get us to come and have coffee and breakfast. And at this point, one of us has farted. I don't know which one. One of us has farted, which makes the other one laugh, which means our fart has started. And then because of that, the other person laughs and therefore farts back. So now we're having a laughing, farting back and forth thing. And my mom walks in and she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you two?" I'm like, and we're both just laughing our ass off. We can't breathe. Not because the fart smells so bad. You
raised me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but we were laughing so hard. We're like, can't fucking breathe. Just because, look, I'm sorry. It's universal. Farts are funny. Like, it's just fucking funny. And when it's like your significant other and now you guys are farting back and forth, I'm sorry. That's just fucking funny. Like it, and I will ask everybody who's listening to this, if you have a similar experience, please share. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it because, like, especially when it's a woman who's farting in front of her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's the norm. Like, maybe that's weird to other people, but like, our relationship has seemed weird even to my own parents, like, forever. I'm like, we just don't have the boundaries that you guys grew up with. Like, we still respect each other, but we also acknowledge we're human, and that it's fucking funny as hell when somebody farts, especially when it's loud and awkward, much like this podcast.
Now you made it awkward.
Yes. So, but yeah, no, that's just a fun thing in general. But yeah, no, farts. Oh God, that I'm thinking back. Like, there have been times, and I'm throwing her under the bus. I don't care because I love her. Where she has absolutely cleared out either the living room or the bedroom. Like, and most of the time, and you know this as well as being a guy, because I'm sure you've been around many farts in your life, not just women's. The silent but deadlies.
Oh yes, SBDs.
So a lot of times at night we go to bed, and we'll each be on our phone watching different YouTube videos or whatever, and I'll just be like, "Ugh." Baby, what did you do? She's like, sorry. Like there was no sound, but it is just fucking, you're doing the sheet flapping thing. It's just like, fuck, let's get it out of here. Jesus Christ. You know? And like, of course I get my revenge, when necessary. But I feel like you don't know when it's gonna stink. So it's like always a gamble, whether it's loud or it stinks, right? Or is that just me?
I don't know.
So as someone who's had stomach surgery, which way does it kind of go? I'm just curious because I don't know a lot of people.
It's different because of the stomach surgery, so it messes up my regularities and stuff. So
Sure.
It's not the same as everybody else. Mine is like nothing, and then the first one you get, it is death on wind, and soon thereafter, it's time to go.
Okay. That makes sense.
Like it's almost an immediate turnaround. I don't ever just get gas like people get gas and rip ass and keep going about their lives. If I even fart a little bit, it's time to go.
So that was me yesterday because of the sheer amount of macaroni and cheese and barbecue I had. So like that lactose intolerance that comes in your 40s, so to speak. I'm not there yet. I'm not giving up on 39 just yet.
I don't have lactose intolerance, and I'm in my 40s.
Well, hell, you don't have much of a stomach left either. So,
but it's still a stomach.
Yeah, true. But I mean, like, most people develop lactose intolerance later in age, where you can handle it significantly better.
Only
early
sissy,
on.
genetically weak people do.
Oh, fuck off! Most people aren't supposed to have milk as it is. Either way. So it's mostly cheese, but I will have issues with like actual milk, depending on how much I take in. But definitely yesterday was barbecue and cheese problem, but it was all gas. That was it. So like,
because the cheese blocked you up. It ain't coming out yet, but wait till it does.
Oh, well, things have happened since then. However, I know we're being kind of gross here, but guess what? We're all fucking human. If you're alien listening to this, please leave a comment down below so we know exactly how to identify you and report you to... Shit, who do we report?
I'm not gonna report you. I'm
Space
just
Force?
say, hey, come, let me ride around in your right. Oh, you just made me sad. They canceled that show.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I meant
it got canceled at the end of season 2. Season 2 just came out like a month or two ago, and
I never actually watched
canceled it like last week.
Was it
Dude,
good?
It's awesome. Dude, it is so funny, so over the top. Like, I love that show like so much, and it kind of flew under the radar. But the problem, I read a whole thing about it, and I guess Netflix is struggling money-wise right now because everybody took all the good stuff and put it on other streaming services.
Yeah.
And so they're struggling, and so they nixed a bunch of shows. And the first season of Space Force was the most expensive streaming platform made show like to date, except for like the
Lord of the Rings.
To date, that show hasn't been made yet. It's not out yet, so
I guess they're
booked yet.
Sorry,
but no, the old one, the one with Kubla Khan. Oh, Marco Polo, when Netflix first came out.
Oh wow,
that show was awesome, and it got canceled after was it only one season or not?
Yeah,
Even
I don't think it lasted very long. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was running at like $1 million or $2 million an episode to make or some crazy shit like that.
Which is chump change for HBO.
Yeah, but it was very expensive, so
Oh.
they had to cancel it. This was that, and so since they nixed a bunch, like was on Nerd Rage they were talking about, I think they fired like 1,000 employees in the last month.
More than that.
And they started nixing projects that were in the pipeline, and that was one of them. And they left season 2 on a not a huge cliffhanger, but a good continuation point, and now it's gone.
Not gonna lie, I'm surprised that wouldn't be on Peacock or Hulu.
It was a Netflix original.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like now, like they could pick it up because I mean, it's like the Office. It's like the Office, but sort of not at the same time.
Not at all. Nope.
Well, that's not at all
because it wasn't the mockumentary style or anything like that.
It wasn't. I thought it was.
Nope. It was a comedy show.
My mistake then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the mockumentary stuff.
So for those who accidentally mistake the Office as a comedy. The English, the American Office. Sorry, to be specific.
The only Office that matters.
I will agree with you because I've never watched the English Office.
I've watched the English one. It's funny. It is good. I see why Bobby likes it, but it's just by sheer force of numbers.
So different, yeah.
The American one is better, just because there's more of it. You can't. You might have the 10. Look, it's 300. You might have the 300 best warriors. But when you're facing an army of 1 million people, I don't give a fuck how good they are, you're going to die. Because it's just overwhelming force.
True. Very true.
That's how the American Office is. It's great. I love it. I'm not taking anything away from it. But it wins by overwhelming force above the English one. Damn it. Like if the English one went longer, I might have liked it more than the American one. Because I like dry English humor. That shit cracks me up.
I do too.
Harder. And then again, Steve Carell is just he was a beast in that show.
I've incidentally started following a Instagram page that's all the Office bloopers. Where
if you have the Peacock, they do that now.
Yeah.
So they add it into the show. They call them fan specials or something like that.
Yeah.
Some shit like that. They put the deleted scenes back into the show and have the bloopers.
Yeah. So like the bloopers where it's basically like everybody's breaking up because of Steve Carell is just fucking insane. Like, say what you will, because there were a couple iffy seasons, but goddamn, it was around for like 9.
It was around for 9, and only 1 or 2 of them
were iffy. And like even the last season was iffy up until they got into like the real like actual touching kind of stuff.
Even the iffy ones had great parts. Like Robert California is one of my favorite parts of that whole entire fucking show.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was around during one of the iffy seasons.
Yeah,
and he was.
I mean,
I love James Spader, so
5 or 6 were absolutely solid.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely solid, and maybe a couple iffy ones where they didn't know what they were doing, like Andy becoming the boss and then maybe not the boss, or shopping.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. That guy's okay. The guy from The Hangout, whatever, Ed Helm, he's
Hangover.
Okay.
Ed Helms is funny. He really is.
He's okay, but he's not like a leading man. Funny.
No, he's not leading man funny. He's like at least secondary character funny, which is why he was great as Andy by himself. So once is like. And I get like eventually, you know, that whole thing. I like we're on an Office spinoff here from
how we got here
from wifey farts, but
welcome to our world, folks.
Yes, welcome to our world. So either way, because we were talking about.
But I can go on Netflix. For the Office for forever.
So there was a damn it. I had a thought and then I completely lost it. And it was about Netflix.
We were talking about all the firings and the shutting.
Yeah, there was something else prior to that, and I had it, and then we got off on the Office talk, and I completely forgot what it was.
Talking about Marco Polo and how expensive that show was.
Oh, yes. That's what it came to. One of the things I didn't share in the chat was the actual trailer for the House of Dragon on HOB. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Yes.
Hard pass.
Yes. No. I'm 100% on board. 100% on board because this doesn't have to follow.
No, I was saying hard pass to the fuck me part, not to the show.
Oh, okay. The show then. So, did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, of course. I'm a Game of Thrones super nerd.
Did you read that book?
No.
That was
I'm not a super nerd.
Okay, so so you just So Now, mind you, I haven't read any of the books, but I've heard a lot about this section.
I've read all the books that he has out, like the first 4 or 5.
This is the Blood and Fire book.
Then yes, I've read it.
Okay, so this is what this is based on. And mind you, because we already know the outcome, because this one book is done, but they could probably stretch this out for at least 4 seasons if they really do it right.
Ugh, I hope they don't.
But the thing is like just looking at it, and I watched a few channels talking about it and stuff like that. I was like, I was already on board because dragons and more Game of Thronesy stuff without having to retread the same fucking characters we've already had. Not to mention we get the Iron Throne in its more actual form, like where the swords are fucking everywhere, even to the point it's like cutting the hand of the person sitting in it. I'm on board for this. It's the only reason I'm keeping HBO at this point.
This, all the movies that come out early on there, Curb Your Enthusiasm, the fact that The Wire is on there.
I guess I haven't.
The Harley Quinn animated show is coming out with their next season on there. That shit's fucking awesome.
See, I never bothered to watch that.
Watch it, dude. I'm telling you, skip Terminal List because you like comic stuff and you're a nerd and you have a pretty good sense of humor. Watch the Harley Quinn before you watch Terminal List.
Okay. Well, yes. I mean, I can do both. I have free time. I can literally do both.
Okay. Well, make Harley Quinn a priority.
Because I could probably get to the Terminal List in one afternoon and then.
No, you won't. I'm telling you, dude, it's a hard, you
challenge,
have to be paying attention.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, you probably could, but.
I mean, I'm off on Monday and we're recording now on Saturday, so I have lots of time,
true.
sir.
Yeah, like 2 days to burn that through.
There we go. Could. Now,
I'll probably have Terminal List done tomorrow, but Harley Quinn actually made me like Kite Man. Who the fuck ever thought
like
they'd say
Kite Man?
They like Kite Man, but you'll like it by the end of that show because he's fucking awesome in that show.
Now, if they could find a way to tie the Harley Quinn animated series into the live action,
nope. Keep them separate. I disagree.
But I mean, having not seen it, but if they gave the ability to make those characters back into, say, like the Peacemaker universe.
Nope.
As it were.
I disagree.
Why not?
Because we've already seen how that doesn't work very well with the Disney Plus shows. It's obnoxious how hard they try to force those to fit into the Marvel cinematic universe.
We know we're getting a Peacemaker season 2. We just, at this point, don't know when because you got to do it after.
Which I won't. By the time it comes out, that whole groundswell of people loving that shit will be over. Nobody will care. They'll be like, oh, it's a good show. It won't be like this crazy hubbub this time.
I mean, I kind of agree with you on that, but I would definitely rewatch Peacemaker season 1 to get enthralled again.
Yeah.
But I
feel
like
season 1 was good. Like, I like it, but everybody talks about it like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
No, it's not. Good. It's the greatest DC thing since Man of Steel.
No, it's not.
Since Man of Steel.
You've lost your fucking mind.
I'm saying
the Suicide Squad movie that it's based off is better than that show.
I will say it's equal because we got significantly more within that show. By no means.
And literally,
I'm not talking shit about that sequel
that is put out is better than that show.
The main reason I say it's better than is because it takes that character and develops the fuck out of him.
Yes, it makes you like somebody you shouldn't like.
Yeah,
and
because he's a fucking
and that's
shithead.
why I give it credit. And for some reason, John Cena actually did a good job acting in that.
He's not a bad actor. He's just been given shitty movies.
He chooses those movies. They don't force you to make movies. He chooses those because he thinks he's going to do a good job at them and then does shit in them. So you can't blame that on that.
I can blame it on the people who will definitely always typecast him and not give him a chance to do anything else.
Guess what he's going to be typecast now as the doofy fucking superhero. So guess what he's going to be making after Peacemaker? Another doofy superhero shit. Watch, I'm calling it now.
He wasn't a doofy superhero in Fast 9.
And he wasn't good in it.
I didn't say he was good in it. I just said he wasn't.
Yeah, we're talking about stuff that he's going to be typecast
So can he play a serious role if he's not basically John Cena in a different costume?
No. He's The Rock.
I'm sorry. What if it's voiceover?
You're good at one thing does not make you good at another thing. What if I prove it to you?
What about
Michael Jordan? the greatest basketball player of all time. I'm talking exactly to you, Paige. You know, if you ever hear this, you know I'm talking to you. GOAT, greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. Fuck a LeBron James. Michael Jordan. Now, put Michael Jordan in a White Sox uniform and have played baseball and tell me he's still the greatest baseball player of all time. It doesn't work that way. Just because you're good at one does not mean you're good at the other. You're a good entertainer.
Go number 45.
Good. Good. So you were good at wrestling and you were a good entertainer in there.
Okay, so here's irony. So here's some funny irony.
Yeah, I know, because that was Jordan's comeback number.
No, because I had a Michael Jordan, not a good card, but I had a Michael Jordan card up on my wall, and I had a print of him in his baseball jersey holding the bat and all that as well. So it's just funny that I had that shit up on my wall. So 23, 45. So no, I'm with you. And it was so bad that Space Jam had to make fun of it. Somebody get this guy a tennis racket.
Space Jam was trash too. I was just arguing with somebody about that movie. Was dumb.
The first one is fantastic.
No, we're talking about the second one.
Oh, I've not seen the second one, so I can't.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who swears.
Oh, it's because it's LeBron. That's why.
Yes, swears that LeBron is the greatest of all time. And me and another friend of mine always argue with him. Every time he mentions something on Facebook, we immediately make it about, you know, Michael Jordan being better.
Okay, so hold on. I'll give you one thing. I'll give you one thing. LeBron was actually pretty good in the Trainwreck.
I don't know if I watched that one.
That was the Amy Schumer, Rainn Wilson. Was it Rainn Wilson?
Definitely didn't watch that one.
So it was where he's the sport or the athletic consultant or whatever.
Himself. Okay,
yeah, so he was LeBron playing himself in a weird fictional movie. But it was, of course, an Amy Schumer movie. That movie is actually pretty good. People shit on Amy Schumer a lot, but that movie is actually pretty good. I also shit on Amy Schumer a lot because her comedy.
She might like that because I've seen her comedy.
Maybe. I don't know about since she's had a baby. She probably doesn't like shit as much. But in her earlier movies, that movie being basically a crappy version of herself, pretty good. Her stand-up, meh. But as an actress, I actually kind of like her. That movie is pretty... I don't think it's Rainn Wilson. Who the fuck was in that movie now? I can't remember. Because we talked about The Office, now I got Rainn Wilson in my head. So either way, that movie's pretty good. LeBron is good as like LeBron. But then again, he's playing LeBron in Space Jam 2. The not sequel, but is definitely a sequel. I haven't seen this shit. What is
dude, it? I told him when somebody brought in Space Jam 2, I was like, dude, that brick-faced turd couldn't act his way out of a wet sack, man. It was rough watching him do that.
I almost spit my beer laughing.
Like, it was rough. Like, he cannot act, dude. And he was so, like, he's trying to show emotions, like he's having a father-son moment, you know, at the beginning he's an asshole dad.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He literally has this, like, moment where he's, like, he's trying to be upset with his kid at the beginning where he's an asshole. He's like, didn't I tell you not to do that? I'm like, oh, my fucking God. Oh, boo. I'm booing my TV because we were watching it on TV at home. I was like,
I gotta wonder, though, if that is the director telling him to act that way, because no, listen. So
I'm so tired of hearing people say shit actors are bad. No,
here's the thing.
Directors don't make you act bad. Directors just tell you what you're supposed to do. How you act is how you perform what the director said.
No, I agree with you to a degree there. But like I said, within the Trainwreck, he plays a good fictionalized version of himself who's working, like, he's not a physical doctor, he's a therapist. So, like, he deals with a lot of their mental bullshit. So, like, he incidentally plays, like, a best friend role to not Rainn Wilson, because for some fucking reason I haven't Googled to see who was in that fucking movie.
I'm going to laugh if it is Rainn Wilson.
Oh, if it is, it'd be great. Give me a second here. Maybe it's not the Trainwreck, it's just Trainwreck. I think I'm adding the to the title. Nope, that's a band. What the fuck? Okay, here we go. Oh, there it is. Bill Hader. That's why I was getting it confused, because they kind of look alike. So it's Bill Hader, not Rainn Wilson. Oh, Ezra Miller's in that movie. I totally missed that. Oh, John Cena is totally in this movie as well. That was the connection. John Cena.
Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. Shoki thinks all white dudes look the same.
No, I think Bill Hader looks a bit like Rainn Wilson. But the funny connection is that John Cena is also in that movie playing her shitty ass boyfriend in that movie, but not playing John Cena. But LeBron James plays a good fictional version of LeBron James in that movie, but apparently can't manage it in Space Jam, which is fucking weird.
It was bad, dude. It was bad.
I agree with you. It's bad, and I haven't even seen it. Dude, Method Man is in this movie. I mean, how bad could it be?
Method Man's awesome, first of
Yeah,
all.
that's what I'm getting at. Oh, hold on. I gotta reply real quick to this because I didn't get back to him. Okay, there we go.
And then even Space Jam, I mean, we got nostalgia for it, and it was a great movie and all that, but Michael Jordan can't act in that movie. Go back and watch it now.
No.
He's horrible acting in that movie, too.
But it gives a good excuse to have Wayne Knight doing anything but Dennis Nedry or Newman.
Which is, he still played those same exact characters.
I mean, what else is Wayne Knight known for? Anything?
I can't think of anything.
Exactly. He's got 3 roles: Space Jam, Jurassic Park, Newman.
And he's made millions of dollars off them. I wouldn't change it either.
True. I mean, I've based my entire career off being Newman.
You are kind of Newman.
I mean, I don't work for the USPS, but I work near them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do describe
USPS adjacent.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lengthy conversation with a guy at the post office the other day about how fucked up things have become because they fucked up my package delivery the other day, which I mentioned in my week last week. Which, let's see here. No real reason to necessarily get into our weeks, but I did want to ask you, because I listened to the new Nerd Rage Radio episode. How do you feel about the Munsters trailer since you weren't?
I thought it looked stupid as fuck.
Okay, so you're on board with Jisk.
I guess. Whoever said it looked stupid as fuck.
That would be
I think
Jisk.
Bobby said it looked stupid as fuck too.
No, Bobby says it looks stupid, but he's on board. He wouldn't actively go to the theater for it, but he's interested.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it when it comes out just to say that I watched it, but I'm not. I don't think it's gonna be anything good.
So were you a Munsters fan back in the day?
I liked it. I grew up watching it.
Or was the Addams Family your weird family?
2 different things. I always considered them different.
Addams
Family was funny, but I always considered the Munsters like slapstick funny.
See, I saw them as equal.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so weird question, because now that I'm thinking about it. Outside of the movies, did the Addams Family have a color TV adaptation?
I think they did.
I don't remember.
I think towards the end they did.
Huh.
They were definitely in color on Scooby-Doo.
Okay, so the original live action, not color. Because the Addams Family has been surprisingly prolific, whereas the Munsters have fallen to the wayside since the late 80s, at very least. Because I talked about this last week with Mike after we talked about the trailer. So I did watch the colorized version of the Munsters, which I still never bothered to Google what that show was called. It's not.
Yeah, I remember you were trying to say it's like Monsters Revisited or Monsters
or Alive.
Yeah.
Let me do a Google. Oh, that's not an M.
See, I told you I listened to the show.
Yeah, eventually. Okay, the Munsters today. No, that ain't. Wait, what? That ain't it. Oh, it was called in somewhere. It was called the Munsters Today.
No,
it was. I'm looking at it right now. It was actually called the Munsters Today. However, that may not have been everywhere. Oh, by the way, random question for you. Do you know what the Munsters address was?
Oh shit! I did use
Dig into the mines.
It was an important part.
It was. It was a silly name, but
it's like a running gag. Yeah, I don't remember, like Weeping Willow Lane or some bullshit.
No, but okay. Random. On top of that, do you remember the Simpsons address?
No.
743 Evergreen Terrace.
Okay.
Munsters' address was 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Now, Now I know that this version, and I don't know that this title, The Monsters Today, as it is, was universal. But I don't think I ever realized, now that I'm looking at it on Google, I don't think I ever realized how different the colorized version was. It's like
Yeah.
super fucking different. So I did
Because it
watch
was like that Technicolor coloring.
well,
too. It
no,
was like
it wasn't
really,
that. It's a whole separate show. It was literally a whole separate show. Not even the same cast,
Oh,
nothing.
then I watched the old one where they Technicolored it.
Oh, I
Then,
watched,
because
yeah. I think at some point, yes, I'm looking at it right here. So they definitely added color to the original by the time Technicolor rolled around. Well, I mean, Technicolor had been
Technicolor
around
had been around longer than that. But
since the 30s with
Mhm.
uh, da, 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 da,
Wizard of Oz.
thank you. I was getting there. Um, oh, that's funny. They have an image of black and white Lily Munster next to colored Marilyn Munster. That's pretty cool. Um, and I did watch both, but I definitely watched the updated version of the Munsters, which was apparently today.
I think I kind of watched. Remember, I'm a little older than you,
Mm-hmm.
so I pretty much whatever the rabbit ears and the clicky dial TV picked up was the one that I watched. So that's
Oh
why
yeah,
I
for
think
sure, for sure.
I watched. I think I saw more Adams Family than Munsters just because it was easier to find.
And you know what's funny? Like, so the Adams Family, while they did weird stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Fester or Cousin It,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't a vampire married to a Frankenstein that somehow birthed a werewolf. Um, so it was very strange, but still fun. Like there was like, I guess, a slightly more fun aspect to the Munsters. I don't know.
I
Like,
used to have I somewhere in my stuff I have an autographed picture of Eddie Munster because when I
oh no
was like
shit.
when I was 19, I was working at a gas station in Tampa. I thought I told you about this.
No.
Like where I worked at was on Gun Highway, right by Ehrlich and Gun Highway, like out in that area. Um, and there's a lot of mansions and stuff back in there. And I met Eddie Munster came in there one time,
That's
signed a
Butch
picture for me.
Butch
I met
something.
yeah, Butch somewhere or another. I have it somewhere. I have an autograph of the Undertaker and an autograph of the Big Show too, because the Undertaker had a mansion back there, and they used to like the wrestlers would stop by on their way to his house to party and shit because it was
Yeah,
the last gas station out there.
he's in Texas now, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
Either
He
way,
might have been in Texas then too, but he just had a Tampa home. I don't
yeah,
know. Them motherfuckers
you're
have all
right about
kinds of
that.
crazy
Yeah.
shit.
But like, because I'm looking through all these old pictures from the show and stuff like that right now on Google.
Mm.
I'm like, it's bringing back like so much. Like, I don't think
Nostalgia.
I don't think I realized until I reached like a slightly more adult age where I changed shows a little bit. Obviously, I still watch
Mhm.
cartoons and silly shit, but like, I don't think I realized how much I watched older TV. Like, given that, like,
What was it like WGN and Channel 44 in Tampa? They used to always do like on Sunday they do the Elvira, the horror shows in the afternoon or whatever.
yeah, for sure.
She would announce them, and I know the Adams families rolled through that a lot, and then they'd do like the old horror movies and stuff like that. Like
she's in the new
Universal
movie.
Monsters. Yes, I know.
Yes.
And so is one of the cast from the Munsters.
As I heard from somebody else in a message, apparently Butch, who is still alive, is
Mhm.
also going to be slipped into this movie a little bit too.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
original Marilyn and
really,
original Eddie.
yeah, Eddie. It's really weird. Like this, back to whether I liked the look of it or not. It's one when you say it's Rob Zombie, you're already immediately picturing one thing because it's Rob Zombie.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then it's the Munsters, so you're picturing this other thing.
It's already funny.
And instead, you somewhere get this.
Oh,
it looks like
Blu-ray.
Tim Burton rubbed his dick across it. So, like it's very Tim Burton-ish looking. So it's like Rob Zombie doing his best Tim Burton impersonation.
I do get that. They did mention that on Nerd Rage, and
I'm not a Tim Burton fan, as we all know.
I would no, same here. But like, I mean, I like some Tim Burton, but I draw the line at certain things. But the thing is, we're also going off a trailer. The show might be different, and they talk about.
It's not a show; it's a movie.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I was calling it a show. Sorry, my bad.
I know.
Anyways, so people talk a lot of, and especially on Nerd Rage, they talked about the colorization of Herman. Like he's super like neon green as a
He was a
Frankenstein.
weird color in the old when they technicolored him. He was like this greenish
In the
gray
colorized
baby.
version, he was either a weird blue or a weird green, depending.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm scrolling through photos here, and some of them it's
we
very
all see on our vocal podcast.
yes. Sorry, I can't share everything I'm looking at on my phone on the podcast. He's very muted in some scenes, and then some where he's like maybe in broad daylight where it's going to be crazy, and don't get me wrong. A lot of things can change between the release of a movie and when they drop the trailer, especially color grading. Yes, 100%, as we brought up earlier. But like color grading is one of them. So if they can see that, like, say they've got it way too green, they could
they got the contrast.
They got the contrast way too high, and given the trailer that we shared, I could see that. But also, I could see it changing over time. Because even
I can see it just staying that way because Rob Zombie doesn't give a fuck. If he thinks it's supposed to look that way, he's gonna put it out there.
I could see that too, because the funny thing is he has Lily looking like a normal human, not looking pale like Grandpa, who's not Grandpa in this movie.
Of course, he made his wife
hot.
What's her
Lily? She is kind of hot. Not gonna lie. Like, I mean, she's not necessarily my type, but it's also I'm looking at her as Lily Munster, which, you know, I think.
You want to see hot? You want to see fucking hot?
Don't say Christina Ricci as Morticia Addams. Yes. I'm aware. Don't
fucking tell me don't say it.
Mind you, modern
bamboozle.
Now, modern Christina Ricci, like right now, doesn't look as good as she did in that photo shoot.
Don't care. She was hot.
But don't get me wrong, that does stir up a lot of. But also Angelica
Keep your
Houston
drunken boners to yourself.
But you're also talking Angelica Houston version of Morticia, not the original from the TV show. A little bit different sex appeal there.
It was almost the same exact outfit, dude. The only difference is Angela Houston was way skinnier,
curvier.
Yeah,
I would say, like they weren't trying to sexify the original version.
Oh no!
And
no. First of all, back in the '60s, that was sexified. You saw her wrists and her ankles
and cleavage.
Yeah, so that was big time sexified for back then.
But then Lily Munster didn't have any of that. She was almost entirely covered up. So like her sexiness was entirely within her actions or her face. Not that she was trying to be sexy, but like there's just something about it. Like
I didn't think she was sexy. I just
no. But I'm saying like if you go back and look at the original actress who played Lily Munster, she's, you know, aside from the makeup, obviously, you know, she's kind of got some shit going on that like a lot of people nowadays. I mean, like I think that's almost where as people will call it now, skunk stripe comes into like the gothic nature. Like I don't know. Like,
and again,
there's some shit happening.
Our previous showing where I talked about it. Yeah. Watching the Munsters did not make you gothic bitches get a tan.
Yes, I agree with that. True. Except you didn't apply it to gothic nature. You applied it to Nightmare on Elm Street. Not Nightmare on Elm Street. Fucking Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry.
Which was still, that's what I'm saying. All the fake gothic people, they're like, oh, I love Nightmare Before Christmas, and oh, I love the Munsters and the Addams Family. That's why I'm gothic, and I totally just listen to Marilyn Manson and fucking wear black and don't go out.
So
that makes me gothic. That does not make you gothic, bitches. That makes you fake gothic.
Now, especially if you only live it once a year at Halloween, that doesn't apply.
Let me tell you, there's this place in Tampa, in Ybor City, where they have all the nightclubs and stuff called the Castle. Them motherfuckers in there, those are some real gothic motherfuckers. They're the ones that dress like you fake bitches dress, but they're the ones also in there trying to suck each other's fucking blood. Dude. You know, they're those motherfuckers.
So, just scouring the Googles, as it were. The Munsters, the complete series from Best Buy, $35 on DVD.
I'll be saving $35.
I might, yeah. I might.
I'm saying it's probably streaming somewhere that you probably already pay for. So
that's possible, but I don't know who the hell owns the rights to it to this point.
Wasn't it? So it would have been Peacock.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Actually, I don't even know where this movie will be stranging. will be
Yep.
this is what happens when I'm reading while talking.
This is what happens when Shoki's drunk and reads, y'all.
I'm not actually drunk, but when I'm scrolling and so I have the bad habit of reading while I'm talking, and so I'll just say whatever it is. Actually, yeah, let's just go to who has the movie rights.
I want to say it's an NBC Universal thing.
I thought it was CBS for some reason.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm not swearing.
No, you're right about Universal. You are right about Universal. Oh, okay. So they were right on Nerd Rage when it said it's gonna be on Netflix. Bobby won't be able to see it. It's funny. If you guys aren't aware of what we're talking about.
What do you mean? What do you mean Bobby won't be able to see? You know how many fans probably sent them his password like immediately?
I would assume so. Okay, so by the way, you were talking about it. So Sherry Moon Zombie on her own, who's playing Lily Munster, is not a bad looking gal.
I'm not saying she's horrible or anything, but I've heard people talk about her like she's just the fucking hottest thing around, and not even close.
True.
But it's not. But again, that's my opinion because she's not my. That's not my. Like her, I'm not a blonde guy.
Yeah,
like I don't do blondes, so that's just off the table for me.
Okay, so the guy playing Grandpa, I know his face for sure. Daniel Roebuck.
I can't get past his mutton chops.
I agree. He's got some crazy mutton chops and a mustache that Grandpa didn't have.
Mustache,
but I assume by the end of the movie he'll be shaved because it's not in the character. So I assume that by the time they get to the end of the movie, look, I'm on board. Butch Patrick, that was his name. That's Eddie Munster. Pat Priest, who is the original Marilyn, will be in this movie as well. So either way, I don't know. Like I mean, I'm on board.
But I'm on board. To the theater to watch it. And I don't expect to like it. I expect it to be if it's anything, it'll be this is a movie. It's okay.
I guess it'll depend.
It had funny parts, but I'm more likely leaning towards they should have not fucking made this movie.
Oh, I'm on board for making this movie because somebody needed to do something with the property, and this at least gets it back in the zeitgeist. So,
or just leave it where it was. Leave it in the past where it was. It doesn't have to be remade. What do we need? A remake of Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind and all that shit too? No, fucking make new stuff, dude.
I will point you towards the previous remake of Wizard of Oz. Actually, it wasn't a
The Wiz?
The Wiz. Not The Wiz. What was the movie?
It was a sequel. It was not a remake.
No, it was a prequel. What is the prequel?
Oh, you're talking about the prequel one with James Franco.
Oh, it's The Great and Powerful.
Great and Powerful Oz.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. So with James Franco. So I actually
but that's not a remake.
I know it's not a remake. It's technically a remake of The Wiz in a way.
No, because The Wiz was a kind of remake of The Wizard of Oz, but added extra stuff.
What am I thinking? Oh, Wicked. I'm thinking of Wicked. Sorry, my bad. It's like a movie version of Wicked, which The
Wiz is the one with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Sorry for all those people, Broadway nerds. Sorry, I was getting The Wiz confused with Wicked, which Wicked has some pretty fucking cool songs, so I can't not. It's one of the few musicals where I actually do dig some of the music.
I'm gonna let you know a secret, but you gotta promise not to tell anybody.
I got no promises, bitch.
I've never seen Hamilton. I don't ever plan on watching Hamilton because I've seen like 2 clips from Hamilton, and I think the music in it was shit.
I've heard a couple of little excerpts from Hamilton, and I'm not actually interested.
Now my kids haven't fucking memorized. They watched it over and over, like at their mom's
The funny
house.
thing is, so I like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I neither like nor dislike him because I don't know him anything. As an actor,
I don't know him from anything but that. And the only time I've ever seen him acting was in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Did you see him in House?
I don't know. Maybe
he was Alfie. He was Alfie, his roommate. Yes, he was Alfie. Yeah, that's why I knew him. I was like, oh, hey, I know that guy. So
yeah, my brain never connected to because I didn't care.
That's why he wanted to do the rap show whenever they did their talent contest in the mental asylum, which, by the way, some of the best episodes of House ever.
Agreed.
Did you watch the Clerks 3 trailer?
I believe I did, yes.
Okay.
I half watched it.
I need to rewatch it because at this point, I don't. You know what's funny? I watched Clerks 2 and then bought Clerks 1. And not gonna lie, in my modern sensitivities of the time, I definitely preferred Clerks 2, but part of me attributes that to Rosario Dawson dancing on a rooftop. Because good God, that woman.
Yes.
Um,
But
and also,
yeah,
Randall taking it back is fantastic in that movie. Not gonna lie, that's hilarious.
But I'm not a big, what do they call that? They call that something like the Kevin Smith verse or whatever they call that shit. They call it something.
Hoser?
Where like all his, huh?
Is it?
No, it's where all his movies are like interconnected with each other.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big, huge fan of, like, I liked Mallrats, but Chasing Amy was, it was all right.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here.
You've never seen Mallrats.
I've never seen Mallrats, Chasing Amy, or most of his movies.
Wow.
But
I've never seen his newer shit where he lost his fucking mind and started making shit about turning it into walruses.
Oh, God. Okay. Hold on. I gotta stop you there because I've seen Tusk.
Ugh.
Holy shit, dude. No. Watch this movie. I'm not joking. Watch Tusk. Or is it Tusk or Tusk? Either way. I watched it. I believe it. I either Redboxed it or I watched it on some streaming service. I don't know which one. Holy shit, that movie scarred me. Like that movie, and it's Justin Long. How he can act under those circumstances.
I like Justin
insane. Long. No, I do too. I like him as an actor, but I'm talking about like how he can hold his shit together and be an actor in the situations from that movie. Holy fuck. And if you've never heard of this movie, Tusk is where is it?
Insane doctor's trying to turn a human into a walrus.
He turns a human into a walrus.
Like one piece at a time.
Surgically.
Yeah.
And then turns himself into a walrus.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So, yeah. But like my favorite Kevin Smith movie is Dogma. I thought that movie was hilarious.
I've never seen that movie either.
Dude, you have to watch that one.
I've heard that I need to watch a lot of Kevin Smith movies, but I haven't done.
Well, no, I don't say that. Mallrats, Dogma,
Chasing Amy,
Jay and Silent Bob was okay. See, I'm not a big like. I had my party days back when I was younger, so stoner movies just don't kind of cut it for me anymore.
That's true.
But that one kind of came in on the tail end of my partying days. But then like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, like the sequel one, it was like, it was all right. Best part about it was Cockknocker. So I mean, Luke Skywalker being a Batman villain that has a green lightsaber and a huge fist and punch people in their dick. That's hilarious to me. Like there's just so many layers to that joke.
That's true. But either way,
dude, we are so off the rails on this show. I don't even know where we are.
We're just talking at this point, Ricky. I don't even know why you're asking questions.
We should just bank this one. This should be a banked show.
No, this is a full-on episode. This was a full. What? Hold on. I just saw a post. I want to know what the fuck it is.
Worst.
Okay, hold on. I just saw a post for the upcoming MCU timeline. So.
Oh yeah, I saw it too. Yeah.
Okay, I want to see this. So, Quantum Mania sometime soon. I can't see the date. Secret Invasion. We knew that was coming. Guardians of Galaxy 3, which seems to be coming out at the same time as Echo. Nobody gives a fuck about Echo. Let's be honest here. Loki season 2. I'm on board. Oh, this is phase 5.
Yes,
this is in the future. 5. Holy fuck. Okay. So the Marvels, which they've already shown teasers for.
Oh, you skipped. No, you haven't skipped.
No, I haven't skipped anything. So how do the Marvels, when they've shown teasers for that?
Because Wakanda Forever ends phase 4.
Oh, it's a very short phase. Okay. On board. Yeah. On board. We're just like, phase 4 we'll forget about. Okay, right. Yeah. So the Marvels with the nice little S from Miss Marvel, which by the way I still say was an okay show. Blade, which looking forward to see what they're going to do with that. Ironheart.
Yep.
Could care less either way.
Don't care.
Also, I don't know if that's
Agatha.
Hold on. Fair question though.
You can tell because it says Disney underneath it. It says Disney Plus underneath.
Oh, it does. You're right. You are
Ironheart's
totally right.
A show.
I got to zoom in for that. You're right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ironheart is a show.
Covenant of Chaos
Is that what it is? Oh, yeah,
show.
Coven of Chaos. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Daredevil, they're bringing back the Charlie Cox
Born
Daredevil.
again. So God knows what they're going to do with that.
But they're bringing it back. They're continuing
Now,
from where they left off.
the one that really matters, Captain America NWO.
New World Order.
NWO.
That's not the only one that matters.
Well, no, but that one has mattered because it's Captain America. So the question is, we already have Sam, and we know he's going to be in at least the Marvels due to strange videos that have already dropped somehow. I have no idea how those videos have hit the internet from a show or a movie that hasn't come out till next year, but somehow
I got more for you.
What?
Posted from Marvel Studios.
Okay.
Marvel Studios Avengers Secret Wars in theaters November 7th.
Oh, they're doing a movie, not a series for Secret Wars.
Wait for it.
Okay.
Marvel Studios Avengers The Kang Dynasty in theaters May 2nd, 2025.
2025.
Marvel Studios welcomes you to the multiverse saga. And
okay.
it had wait for it, because this is where it really phase 6. They haven't announced anything past the 1.
Okay.
They got a bunch of open slots.
Okay.
But phase 6, November, it's either 8th or 9th, 2024. Fantastic Four movie.
It's only taking till 2025.
No, 2024.
4, sorry.
It's November. It's either 8th or 9th, 2024. Fantastic Four movie.
Damn. That's a long...
buddy.
That is still an eternity away.
No, dude, they did that. Dude, they had the Infinity Saga announced like 7 years before it came out.
I know. I was going for a pun.
Failed.
It's an eternity away. Oh,
failed.
So since we're gonna sort of wrap up this episode here in a minute, just got an email from Will. Honestly, it's kind of nice to get emails at this email because it's more than the normal Shoky junk that I always get. Okay, so Will sent in an email, says possible topics. Good to know now, Will.
God.
So
yeah, at the end of the show,
I'll read these now.
Timing is great.
I will read these now. It's fine. Hey, it is what it is. It says number 1, least favorite foods. Number 2, if your favorite junk foods and the knowledge of how to make them cease to exist, what would you eat instead? So if your favorite food disappeared, what would you eat otherwise? That's an odd question. Childhood toys that left you disappointed. That's a weird one.
No, that's actually a pretty
No, I mean, it's a good one, but I'd have to think about that. P.S. I don't expect you guys to do these in one episode, maybe bank 1 or 2 for later. Thank you for telling us how to do our job, Will. We will do half of that. I will let you know which half later. Yes.
So Shoky was an asshole.
No, I mean we'll go through those quote unquote topics and or questions later, but it's just funny that they came up right now as I'm sitting here just poking through my phone, looking at Marvel teasers. Either way. Yes, I do know that all the SDCC reveals are dropping this weekend. Yay. There's been a whole lot of cool toy reveals. I think I only
bothered with one.
Yeah, we're only mostly I think between us, we're basically really happy about NECA.
I was excited about NECA, but the only thing I went out of my way for was Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, really?
And Mindbender. I got Slaughter and Mindbender.
So you went for the actual G.I. Joe classified Sergeant Slaughter, not the Action Force Sergeant Slaughter.
I don't buy Valverse stuff.
Okay. And I don't fault you for it, but I will say
not for anything against the toys. I just think that guy's a dickhead, so I'm not going to go into it.
Okay. Yeah, he was supposed to come on for an interview, never did. Never hit me back. Anyways.
Good, yeah.
So the interesting thing, at least about his version, is that the pants are at the right level. That's the only thing I have a criticism of the official Hasbro version. His pants are too low.
His what?
His pants are too low.
Like where?
So if you look at the images they shared with Sergeant Slaughter, the figure, along with the original images,
you don't have to look at images. Go look at Big Bad Toy Store. He's up for sale.
That too, yeah. So his actual pants should be actually halfway up, like right at the base of his abs. The figure, though, is below the ab crunch and pretty low, like because they wanted to make sure that his pants were somehow below that.
His pants would not be up much higher than that. It just looks, for some reason, the back looks dumpy. Like the back looks low.
He has an incredibly large upper torso due to the fact of where they stopped the pants. That's my only criticism of it.
Remember, it's military. His pants would be
mid-grade at
his
best.
belly button, no higher, no lower. So it depends on where his belly button is.
I think his belly button's too low, is what I'm getting at, if they're going by that. That's my only criticism of it. I mean, it's a cool figure. It's great that they finally made an official Sergeant Slaughter. I don't know if that's because of the issues around the actual dude and all of that went weird. Stolen,
there was like all this
stolen
issue with
valor
the rights because WWE owned the rights to him or some shit.
Well, I didn't know if it was just that or it was the whole issue with him and the stolen valor and stuff like that, since he was never actually in the military and whatnot. So I didn't know. Either way, but it's cool to get that. I think his traps are ridiculous.
Yes, my grandfather was a DI in the Marine Corps. When he passed away, I got his last name. I can't say it, you know. Yeah, I can. It's because it's Facebook. It's Bischoff. It was his Bischoff banner with the eagle and the stars, and I got his Smoky. So I always loved Sergeant Slaughter when I was a kid because of that. Like, my grandfather was old school Marine Corps DI. Like, he's the guy who would have made Arlie Emery look like a Girl Scout. Like,
Ermy.
Like he was old school. Like the end of World War II into Korea era DI.
What if your grandpa was the inspiration for Arlie Ermy to play that character?
Then he didn't do it right, because I've heard stories from my grandfather about how he pistol whooped some dude who was literally cross-eyed for not looking him directly in the face while he was giving him a command. Like the old school Marine Corps.
Yeah. Also, R.I.P. to Arlie Ermy and your grandpa.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, my grandpa.
Well, I'm gonna throw both in there because they both did. They both did a service for this country, so I'm gonna throw them both in there.
Yes.
But only one of them was a movie star as well.
I did love. Well, technically, I got home video, so both of them were
okay.
But yeah, I loved Arlie Ermy too. But he is. I had to. The Smoky is the selling point to me. Okay. So and the Valverse one is a green Smoky.
True. That's true.
Incorrect.
So I have an idea for another top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 Arlie Ermy movies. That could be fun.
I can only think of 2 off the top of my head.
I can think of at least 4 or 5. At least.
I can only think of, like, you probably name them. I'd be like, oh yeah, that one too, and that one too. But
he's been 2 off the top of my head. Okay, we'll include TV series as well.
I can name 2 off the top of my head.
Do you know why?
Why?
He was House's dad.
Oh yeah, fuck me, man.
Exactly.
I have to rewatch House, dude. You watch that shit too much or something, man.
It's on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
The whole series is on Amazon. Go watch it. Yeah.
But of course it's Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
And then
we don't have to do it now. We don't have to do it now. Save it.
No, I'm trying to think of the 2 that I know.
Dude. Okay. It's 2 movies you know. I'll give you. And
it's the one, I'm gonna brain fart on the name of the movie and sound like an asshole, but it's the one with Michael J. Fox where he could see the ghosts with the numbers with the Bushi, where he was the murderer, the ghost was killing people.
Yeah, my brain went. I know what it's at. The Frighteners.
The Frighteners, yes. Yeah.
That one. My brain went Doc Hollywood.
Doc Hollywood. He pops up. Doc Hollywood is actually recorded here, like right where I live at.
Ironically.
Yeah, like one of my best friends growing up, Sam.
God, how did I pull that out of my ass
in the movie?
Dude, I'm telling you, like when I'm at least tipsy, it's amazing what I can recall. But if I was completely sober, I had no fucking clue what you were just talking about.
Yeah, but it's Frighteners when his ghost popped up out of.
I haven't seen that since the 90s.
Popped up out of his fucking burial plot.
Yep.
He's going full tilt. He has like the fucking machine guns and shit.
Also, much later in life, he was the dad on the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
Was he?
He was Leatherface's dad.
He was the sheriff.
But he was also the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, he's played multiple characters. There's other... Shit. I had something in mind, and then I lost it.
Yeah, I mean, I've
But either
probably
way,
seen him on other
he's
stuff,
been
but
on
those are the
so
two. Would
much.
you say Arlie, Ermy? Those are the two I think of.
Oh, I
That and Mail
agree.
Call on History Channel.
Yeah. Oh God, yes, for sure. So I think that'd be a fun top 5 because we'll have to really fucking dig.
I don't know if
Like,
it'd be a fun one, but I mean,
no, I think it'd be
top five.
fun. Well, for Mike especially, throw Mike in the mix to see how he knows him. You
You
know.
look like 150 pounds of pre-chewed bubblegum, Gomer. You will get over the top of that wall, or I will climb up there and throw your fat ass over it, dude. I fucking love
No,
that.
no. The better line, which of course can't play today. Only two things come from Texas: steers and queers. And I don't see any horns, Private Pile.
No, it was
I
Joker,
know.
Private Joker.
Was it Joker? I thought you were talking about Pile.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, because
Private
he said you
Joker
could
was
suck
from
it.
Texas.
You,
Private Pile was Vincent
there you
D'Onofrio.
go. No, I'm aware of that. It was, but it's the you look like you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. So I
Yes.
remember that line. Yeah. So steers and queers come from Texas, and that's fucked up, sir. I will say that entirely, because I know a whole lot of people who aren't steers.
I like how you changed that up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
Good cover.
Yep.
Good save.
Yep. So
Yeah.
either way, I
But
think that's a
yeah,
fun place to end.
He was next level in that movie.
Dude, he's good in all the things. So I think it'd be fun to do that. If you guys have Arlie Ermy roles that he has played, I'll put it that way. Leave it in the comments down below. And then we'll read that after we put together our own list, because otherwise we'll be spoiled.
This is gonna be the craziest show that you're gonna have to put together.
Because it could be shows and it can be movies, either way for Arlie Ermy.
Yeah. I think that one would be fun because it'd be interesting to go, holy shit, he was in that. Oh my god, he was in that too. Like,
yeah.
I think that's what's gonna get.
Well, it's gonna be like our video game discussion. We're like, God damn, this is this many movies.
They made that fucking
Yeah, and then of course, shout out to our episode of the top 5 video game movies where we had a special guest, Alan. So
Alan,
that'll be coming out after this episode, which, you know, this has not been a typical normal episode. Yes, Alan. So we did have a special guest, rolled over from our Bobby Skullface Patreon discussion, which was also fun. And I did talk to Bobby today about him potentially coming on when he has availability. So look forward to that in the future. At some point, I know the next couple of months are going to be difficult.
You just said if he has time, and you're like, look forward to that.
Well, the reason I say
like
that
20
is
years from now, Bobby comes on here, he's like, so I was at the retirement community today.
Well, the reason I say that is like because the one time I managed to sit down and have a 3-hour discussion with Bobby was a random Friday where we both happened to be off, and the only reason we stopped the conversation at the time was because he had to get his kids off the bus. So, you know, it'll happen soon enough. I think it'll be fun to have him come on to
the little black kid and Angels in the Outfield. It could happen.
It could happen. Exactly. Top 5 movies where angels intervene in the movie. We'll just keep doing top 5 movie things. Because
are we just stuck on top 5s for forever? Let's get off.
Not forever,
let's
but it's
let's
fun.
Do top 5 worst ever top 5 videos.
We'll just go straight to Watch Mojo for that. Either way.
I watch a lot of those Watch Mojo ones. They're good brain numbers. Like, I'll let them play while I'm smoking a cigarette and drinking
some
my
of their
coffee.
shit is clearly not researched, and they're just recapping stuff. So no. Like here's the best one. Top 5 YouTube channels. That's the good one right there, because you can just
top 5 worst top 5.
Oh, it's just Watch Mojo, Miss Mojo, Watch Mojo 7, you know, that kind of stuff.
So that was the end of our sponsorship from Mojo.com.
ESPN 8 the Ocho.
Telemundo.
Name a movie that's from. Either way, guys, so we're going to let you go for right now. Of course, you can follow me at all the Shoky related things down in the description below. You can follow Mike at the Comic Relief Crusader things and his fucking channel. Not his channel, his fucking merch store.
His fucking channel, his fucking merch, his fucking shit.
What is it? Freelance Graphics. There we go.
There you go. And the K goes at the end of the word fuck. Fucking shit.
Fucking Freelance Graphics. Also, guys, so on a serious note, because of the things that Mike and his family are currently going through with their living situation, I will include a GoFundMe link down below. We posted this in a different episode as well, but if you guys will help out if you can, not asking for anything more than you can do. They're in a very crappy situation with their landlord attempting to kick them out of their home, and they have very little options as of right now to reconcile this or have to basically get a new home for the first time, actually purchasing a home. So if you can help out, there will be a GoFundMe link down below above everything else, so that if you can do that, by all means. He also said that for some reason, if you need, if you'd rather pay him to do some work for you, he will do some graphics work, graphic design stuff, if you're down for that as well, if you don't want to just donate. Either way, if you can help out Mike and his family towards this really crappy situation where they're basically being forced out of their home that they've lived in for a few years due to a really crappy landlord who doesn't care about the law, please do so down below. That's more important than all the other bullshit we tend to mention. So if you can do so, by all means. And that's an awkward pause, y'all. So
I'm waiting because
I
you
know.
threw that big fucking bummer in the middle of it and didn't even finish talking about my shit either. So you're now like, now that y'all are all bummed out, go see Rikki's links. They're down at the bottom too.
Yes, so you can go check out the work that Rikki does editing promo videos for Nerd Rage Radio. And then if you want to watch Rikki do something other than this show, which has clearly been rated significantly lesser than this show, you can go watch
one
the...
singular person who has a very weird fucking way of rating shit.
I mean, he literally rates things as shit to determine whether they're good or not. So if you agree with Jay and that the show is better, but you want to watch something else Rikki is involved in, you can do so over on the Realm of Collectors channel on YouTube on every other Friday night for the actual show, and then the, I guess technically
Live hangout.
Yeah, live hangout.
Live hangout.
I was gonna say unbroadcasted, but that's
well,
not
it starts
the case.
out live. Like we'll go for about an hour and a half till it starts petering out, and then we'll go unlive, and we just stay on there. Sometimes I think last time we were on there like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, because that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because if we didn't have to do this show, or I guess we didn't have to do this show, but we would have been on the actual hangout, or not hangout, but the Patreon Zoom call for
Sometimes
a long time.
Those. Sometimes I don't.
I think we still have the record. I think we still, you, me, and Mike, I think have the record.
No, one night I stayed on there with Thomas and...
It was you, me, Mike, Thomas, Dark Tolf, and Blaster till like 2 a.m.
No, I'm not talking about that one.
Okay.
Me, Thomas, Dark Toff, Facundo, and like a couple other people. We were on there to like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, dude.
That's really bad.
That's
really
when
bad.
That's when Bobby first started talking about doing the Discord where people could keep it going.
That's fucking 12 hours.
Yeah, we kept the Zoom going for hours.
How many marriages ended?
None of them, because remember Facundo's was in Germany, so
Germany,
he's in
yeah,
hugely different time zone. So he was just chilling out, talking to us on his day off, and we just kept going because we were having such a blast doing it.
Also, shout out to Facundo, because I haven't heard from him in a while.
I guess there was some kind of issue with Patreon and dealing with European banks and stuff now, or some shit.
Oh,
and it messed him up. So we're trying to get that worked out and figured out and try to get him back, because I was asking about him too, because I miss that dude. I love Facundo.
Yeah,
man.
Facundo's great.
He's a good dude. Were you on there the night we were making Dark Toff get drunk?
Yeah, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah, that was that night y'all were
making.
On. Oh, yeah.
I like this making thing you had. The
did.
drunk was there.
I mean, technically, no.
You kept telling him to pour another glass.
Yeah, because I was like, dude, you never even filled up your glass after we watched him chuck like 3 glasses.
I've never seen so much. I've never seen someone drink so much wine.
It was awesome.
It was
His
absurd.
Wife had to come out and tell us that he went to sleep.
He passed out in the middle of a Zoom call.
The couch.
Yep. So shout out to those guys. Except that, Circle of Trust, Rikki. You're talking about things happening in the Patreon.
No, we aren't. I'm talking about stuff that happened in a hangout call.
Sure. Either way. So, guys, we'll catch you next week, where hopefully things will be normal, depending on Mike's living. Fuck, I just made myself depressed. Because Mike may or may not have a place to live next week.
And you're still not making it better, dude. Delete all of that. You already said the part about that.
No, I'm just going to be depressed about it now. We'll be back next week somehow, one way or the other. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.